What is up, friends, YouTube motorcycle enthusiasts? Accelerate coming at you with an update on the van. I've got a few miscellaneous things that I got completed, so I wanted to show you. Let's get into it. All right, my friends, the van is getting close to full glory, which is awesome. I've been using the van more over the winter months, and I started doing a few things. That's one thing about Motovans. Anybody that builds a Motovan will tell you, the more you use it, the more you'll start identifying things that you want to change, things that you found maybe that could be, you would have done something differently, and the van will keep evolving. So that's basically what's happening here. So I want to get into what I've done. So you guys remember my back plate that I added here with the ABS plastic for my hot water shower, which works absolutely fantastic. Well, I did the same thing on this side. I essentially just added the same thing, cut it out, kept the foam insulation inside the door, and then I went ahead and added some pockets. Storage is a must. I may actually end up adding one for the window because I don't really use that window anyway. So I would have extra storage there. So that's the one thing that I definitely did. Speaking of storage, you guys all know my right line soft bags on this side and this side. So one thing about the right lines, as I mentioned before, is that it's designed to set in the back of a Jeep. So this is elevated, but this sets in the bottom part of the Jeep. Because of that, this soft portion is really just, it's a bag. What I did was I cut out some of that same 1/8 ABS plastic and I put a hard bottom in. This is nice, so whenever I put my boots or a helmet in there, it doesn't sag. I did that to all four sides and it worked out great. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. So the next thing you see is obviously the van is way more lit up. And because of that, I have LED strips that run all the way through and have a soft touch button that I can turn on 3 in the front and 3 in the rear. It works perfectly. This was made for a bed of a truck. It's a bed light up kit. I basically just used 2 of them. They're 2 independent systems that are powered separately, which I love because if I'm coming from the rear of the van, entering the van, then I have a switch here, and the same is true for the front. If I'm coming in, then I have lights. I gotta admit, it's even in the daytime and the evening, you can do surgery in here, folks. It's fantastic. There's lots of light. It worked out great. There's just stick-on lights and they're pretty cheap. So link in the description for all the stuff as usual. So let's move on. Let me show you some more about power. All right, guys, as of right now, I've got the van running off of the Goal Zero. Now, one thing you might have noticed is I got a little cart here. So I've been kind of kicking around the possibility of adding a quote galley, which you see in a lot of van builds. For me to do that fully, I would have to slide my bed back, which could possibly affect some of my storage and how bike placement goes back here. So things could get a little wonky. So I wanted to experiment with a stack like galley that I could possibly roll around. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is before I was storing the Goal Zero down behind the seat and the microwave would just sit there. And though that did give me more space, to put like an extra bin in here or whatever the case may be, every time I wanted to use my microwave, especially traveling or on the road, I had to dig it from out behind the Goal Zero, bend over and move everything around. Though not a huge deal, it's nice to have something a little bit more tailored and easy access, which is what I have set up. This is a Luxor cart that I got on Amazon. Again, link in the description, of course. It's a 26-inch cart. I cut these down to 12 inches. Now that leaves me plenty of room to slide the Goal Zero in there, and I can even access the storage if I need to, just to grab a cable out or whatever. I don't really use that storage for too much. It lets me sit the Goal Zero there, and of course it lets me sit the microwave on top. Now for now, the microwave is just strapped down with a tension strap. I don't necessarily want to mount the microwave to the cart because then if I want to use the microwave for something else, then I've got to take it with the cart. Kind of the same with the Goal Zero. Everything is kind of contained. And for traveling purposes, I can really easily just put a bungee here and then attach it to the front handle portion, and it doesn't go anywhere. I really like this, number one, because like I said before, everything is together. The microwave's easy to get to. And also, whenever it comes to using the microwave back and forth, whenever I get to my destination, when I want to put the bed down, all I have to do is roll this cart out of the way. So that's really a cool thing that I like. I can roll it over here. I could roll it between the seats and kind of stash it up there because it's not really used. So I'm going to use it more. I just put it together. We'll see how it goes, and we'll see if it tempts me to build something like a galley out of extruded aluminum more permanently in the van. You know, I like modularity, guys, so hopefully this will just do it for now and I can add to it. So with that, another piece of power. Talking about the Goal Zero, I added this guy right here. So, as many of you guys know, I'm reusing a Goal Zero, like I just said, to power the van. Most vans have some sort of isolator or something like that. I don't have anything like that. I don't have a way, my extra batteries are not a part of the van. It's a standalone unit. Now with that, if the Goal Zero is not always in here, in particular, in the summer, I don't necessarily want to leave my Goal Zero out here in 120-degree heat, cooking in the van all day. The same is true whenever it gets freezing outside. It's just not good for the batteries to leave them in these fluctuating temperatures, which is fine because I can just pull it out and put it in this little cart here. Now the question is, do I always need the Goal Zero to power all these accessories? Well, previously I did, but now I have this. This switch allows me, which wires power from the van up to number 2 and power from the Goal Zero up to number 1. Obviously you can see it's on number 1 right now. If I switch it, boom, I'm now using the van's battery to run the lights, to run my fan, to run anything that my fuse block that I set up in the power video wants to run. So my fans, all that stuff could literally run off of the van when it's running or driving. Now I wouldn't do this very long because obviously this will kill my van battery, but while I'm driving and traveling, if I don't necessarily, or temporarily just a short little trip or something, don't want to take the Goal Zero or don't need to put it in here, let's just say I'm going to get chicken food or something like that from Tractor Supply, and I'm just using the van as a truck. Hey, I have an extra vent. Hey, I have extra lights, whatever the case may be, as I'm loading everything up. So pretty cool. All right, guys, this next one is something I've been waiting to do for a while. I made it to where my passenger seat can spin around and I have a place to sit inside my van. So one thing about my bed being able to fit my bins and things like that under it is that I had to make it tall enough so it's not a really good place to sit if I want to eat or just chill out in the van. It's more of the bed is really a sleeping only. So with that, I added one of these rotating plates that I can show you guys here. Now this thing is really good quality and it wasn't that expensive. The only real modification I had to do was I had to trim this plastic portion. No big deal, but it's something that I had to do. So once the plate is on, and you guys know bolting seats in and out of Chevy Expresses, frankly Sprinters or anything else, is pretty straightforward. So with that, all I have to do is put the seat all the way forward. I reach for the secondary latch that allows me to rotate the seat. Bada bing, bada boom. And now I have a seat that can chill out in the van. Yeehaw. So this makes it for a really nice seat. And also a place that I can eat. As you guys know, my table right here can flip out and I can put stuff there. Now with my rolling cart, which will probably, as I'm stationary, will be right here, the microwave, I'll have access to all that right here, and it will not interfere with anything else. I can just relax here. All right, guys, that wraps up the small mods that I've been doing to the van as I've been using it more. So if you guys have some recommendations of some stuff you think I should do, put a comment down below. Again, links for all this stuff that I've used is going to be in the description, and I have more cool stuff coming. I'm going to be doing a separate under the van water tank that's going to be specifically for pressure washing and washing essentially my dirt bike. So I'm tired of putting a dirty bike back in the van, especially for race days. I want to be able to have a qualifying race, be able to wash the bike, go over it, everything, and then get it ready for that next main race. So speaking of races, race season is coming. In fact, it is here. 2023 Battle of the Goats. I'm going to be there with bells on, getting my butt kicked for sure. But you guys, I'll have a video of that, and I'll have more stuff for the van. I hope you guys are enjoying the channel. Hope you get out there, get on two wheels, and ride a dirt bike. This is Accelerate once again, signing off.